Welcome to another exciting episode of DAF, the Dumb Apple Farmer Talks. Season's getting on now. We had opening bell on Honeycrisp weekend, and that always brings a lot of people out, which means a lot of sort of chaos on the old ranch here. And we were pretty chocker-block. We had nice weather this weekend and basically cleaned up better part of our Honeycrisp crop here. We have, I don't know, 4 or 5 acres of Honeycrisp, and they all pretty much got picked this weekend. So now we're on to the next sort of major crop for us, major variety for us, which is Song of September. And I want to talk today a little bit about terroir. You know, we get, there's these fancy words that are almost always from French. And we use them because if we said terroir in English, we'd probably have to write a damn paragraph about it. But instead, we can just say terroir, and people tend to know what you're talking about. It's sort of like omelette or finesse or something. You know, there's different words that come from French that seem to encapsulate a lot of stuff that would take us gobs to lacquer on in the English language. So anyway, terroir in apples isn't really thought about. You know, we think about that with wine and, you know, fine dining and stuff like that. But actually it applies equally to most, I think, most fruit crops. And you taste the peach from Georgia or a peach, Red Haven peach from Michigan, it's going to taste different. That's due to climate, of course. It's due to soil, of course. And something due to stuff that we just don't quite understand, and thank God for it. We don't want to get to where we understand everything. We're a long ways away from it, thank God. I want to talk about terroir with respect to Song of September because I think it's a really good example. This is an apple that came out of the Minnesota breeding program, and those of you that have been paying any attention whatsoever know that Minnesota has done a useful service to humankind. I mean, they live up there in the frozen tundra, and what's their concern about growing apples is how do we keep these dang trees alive, right? I mean, there's a lot of apple trees. Don't forget about peaches or cherries. You try and grow an apple tree up there, you're gonna have a hard time of it when temperatures get to 30 below regular in the wintertime. And people in Iowa have had the same problems. Going back to the 1800s, the Horticultural Society proceedings will tell you that that was the big issue on the minds of these guys growing apples and other crops in Iowa, is how do we keep these trees alive when temperature can go from, you know, 60 degrees on a November day down to 20 that night. On a good year, it's kind of like apple pie in a skin, you know. You take a Song of September apple, fully ripe, and chomp into it. Couple things are going to become apparent. One is that this is not a crunchy apple, okay? This is an apple that you want to enjoy sort of like you think about a peach. It's here, and then it's ripe, it's explosively good, it's gone. You know, you do not want to be putting these in your long-term storage plans by any means. That's just not a keeper, okay? It's a fantastic apple to eat right off the tree. It's a fantastic apple to eat maybe a week later, but that's about it. You chomp into one at the peak of ripeness, and these still have a few days to go here. You know, you can see the green background color is still staying green, although it's starting to tend towards a whitish green, if you will. And that's always a pretty good indicator that we are approaching the best time to be picking these things. If this background color on this apple goes full yellow, it's probably over the hill. And so we're getting really close on that. I'll just cut this and you'll see the flesh right now is going to be on the white side. When this thing is fully ripe, and it won't take much more time, this is going to go to a decidedly yellow cast on it. And at that time, you're going to get the full complement of flavors on this thing.